distraction. I'm just trying to get the stuff correctly. Yeah, like I said, Photoshop is the platform or the software we're using for our design. We have different software you can actually use to run your design, but Photoshop is actually widely used because of its exclusive functions. You can use CorelDRAW, you can use AI, you can even use Figma for your design and some other platforms. Even Canva, that is all those drag and drop platform. So Photoshop is actually a software from Adobe Collection. You get so we're moving to the Photoshop interface. So whenever I want to start, sorry, can you still hear me?
Yes.
All right. So whenever I want
Yes,
to
boss.
start a new project in Photoshop, this is where it's going to appear on your screen. So here is what is where you're going to set up your workspace, the size you want to work with, the resolution, the orientation, if it is landscape or portrait. So looking from this end, we have recent. So this recent is always there based on uh, the sizes I chose lately. You get. So let's assume you've been working with a Photoshop. The recent sizes you've been working with are the ones that is going to show on this particular part. So we have saved. That is if we save a particular size here. So this one deals with photos. So these are the regular. All these are 5 by 7 photos now. So those ones are custom made by Photoshop. So we have for print where we have our A4, A3, ledger, letter, and all. So, but you can actually input your unit. Depends on the size of design you want to make. So this particular part, okay, let's start from this top here. Where you have this untitled is the name you give to your uh to your work. Let's say this is class. You get to give the name. So here you give your size now. But before that, these are the units we work with when it comes to Photoshop. We have pixels, inches, centimeter, millimeter, point, and pickers. Get so the widely used ones is the pixels and inches. So those are the widely used ones. So the pixel and the pickers. So and okay, now when we say pixels, pixel is actually the smallest unit of our measurement. You see, okay, let's take for instance when you have a 10 by 10 pixel in your image, it means there are 10 that is there are 100 units of pixels in that particular image or particular design. I don't know if you get it. When we have 10 by 10, it means we have 10 here. 10. The way we do our normal multiplication those days, you multiply that 10 by 10. That's going to give us 100. Is somebody there? Are you there?
Yes,
Yeah, when you zoom
yes, yes,
when
yes.
you zoom some pictures to a particular point, you'll be seeing some square, 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 square in that picture. That's what we call pixel. So the number of that pixel in that picture is what bet this particular measurement. So we also have inches and all. And one thing you should know when it comes to measurement is conversion. You need to know how to convert your unit. Let's assume you want to work on a banner design. Let's say 10 by 8. This part our banner is always in feet, and looking at the measurements here, you can't find feet there. So you need to convert it and to any of these units we have here. Are you getting it? So the next thing now is resolution. The custom resolution is 300. So this resolution is what determines the quality of your design or the quality of your image. If you should reduce the resolution, it's going to reduce the quality. If you should increase the resolution, it's going to increase the inches. Now we have pixel per inches. You can actually choose based on your choice. Yeah, and this particular part too. So these ones are not really necessary. So this background content is the color you want to be your background when you open the file. It can actually be white, black, background color, or transparent or custom. So mostly we use white because most of the design is actually having white background. Though you can actually still change it when you get to the workspace where you're going to make your design. Yeah, but when you choose transparent, it means it won't have any background there. Now, Before we proceed, I would like to explain something to us, which is the conversion aspect. Yeah. Let's assume we want to work on a banner of 3 by 4, 3 by 4 feet. In a feet we have 12 inches. 12 inches makes 1 feet, and you can't input 3 by 4 here. If you should put 3 by 4 here, it means you are working with 3 by 4 inches. But don't forget, our measurement is 3 by 4 feet. It means we are going to convert the feet to inches. I don't know if you guess what I'm talking about. Can some
Yes, yes, you're following.
You are following? I don't know if you get what the explanation. I was saying, if you are to work with 3 by 4 feet, let's say you are designing a banner, you can't input 3 by 4 feet here because there is no feet as part of this measurement here. You have to convert it to any of this. Now let's assume you want to convert it to inches. It means you'll be working with what? With inches. You will now convert that 3 by 4 inches to what? To 3 by 4 feet to inches, which is going to be 3 times 12 by what? By 4 times 12. So what is that? Somebody should help me convert it and tell me in
36
inches.
by 48.
36 by 48, good. 36 by 48, yeah. You can actually have your 36 here. This place is width, which means fife sí ẹ̀gbẹ́. 36 by 48, 3 by 4, that is a portrait. 36 here, then 48 here. But one thing about Photoshop is when your file size is actually too big, it can actually affect your work speed. You get, it can actually affect your work speed, that it can be hanging tó bá ti tóbi jù. Mostly as soon as my dimension in inches is exceeding 20, I always try to convert it to something below 20. Then after designing, I can increase the resolution. Are you getting it? So this kind of case where we have 36 by 48, it's actually too big. So what I used to do is I reduce the two of them at the same rate. Are you getting it? I reduce them at what? At the same rate. Are you still following?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, let me just
Yes.
come back so that everybody can get it right. I was working on 3 by 4 feet banner. 3 by 4 feet banner. So we had to convert it to inches by multiplying the 2 by 12. So 3 times 12 gives us 36, then 4 times 12 gives us 48. But I was saying when your size is actually too big, it's going to affect your work speed when designing using your Photoshop. So what I used to do is I reduce the two at the same rate, and after that I'll go increase the resolution. Are you getting it? So now reducing these two, let's say okay, now what can we reduce it with? If you reduce it by 3, what is it going to give us? You reduce it 36 by 3, what is it? Divide 36 by 3, what is it going to give us?
12.
12.
12.
Okay, if you divide 48 by 3, what is it going to give us?
48, 48. That's 6.
16.
Yeah,
Yeah,
16.
yeah, it's cool.
16.
Yeah, and one thing is you must ensure you decrease it at the same rate. It is what you use to decrease the first one or divide the first one, that is to divide the second one, so that your design is not going to pixelate. Are you getting it? Because it has to be increased or decreased at the same ratio. So which means we'll be working with what? With 12 by what? By 16. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that's what we'll be working with. That is at 300 resolution, then you create. So it is going to bring out something like this for us. I believe we can all see this. Had it been we used that 36 by 48, this is the kind of rectangle it's still going to draw, but the quality is going to be different. Are you getting it? The quality is going to be different. Now we are working with what? With 12 by 16. So after our design, we can actually increase the resolution, okay, so that it can equivalent to 36 by 48, which is also equivalent to 3 by 4 feet that we intend to work with. So this is what it's going to bring for us. Okay, one more thing is, had it been we want it to be a landscape, because this is a portrait size, this is a portrait dimension. If we want it to be landscape, it means our width is going to be longer than the what? Than the height. Okay, let me do something. Control N, that's control name. So it means this place is going to be the what? Going to be 16. So this place is going to be 12. I don't know if you get it. So okay, let me say this one class 2. Class 2. So class 2. Let me unlock. Yeah, before I proceed, you can see that this particular box is actually ticked. It is called artboard. The first one I tick it, But this time around, I'm going to untick it and show you the difference. Now, create. Now, you can see that this one is now in landscape form because the width is actually longer than the height. Is someone getting it? Please, I need response.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
good. Yeah, this
yes.
was the first one we created. The width is shorter than the height, but this one is having a longer width compared to the height. But one thing you should take note when we are talking about the artboard is this: the first one, I actually activated the artboard. You can see that there is artboard written here. I seen that, but in this second one, nothing is written here as artboard. And the function of artboard is just for you to have different workspace on a particular uh, should I on a particular file. Are you getting it? On a particular file, you'll be having different workspace on a particular file. As it is now, you can see that this one is showing artboard one at the top of this workspace, but this one is not showing any artboard because it's the artboard is not activated. Now let me come here and show you the function of this. If you should click on this artboard one, it can actually be increased. You can have more than one artboard on a single file. You can see this, but on this particular on this second one, which is class 2, something like that cannot be done unless you convert it to what, to artboard. Are you getting it? Yeah, and one of the function of artboard is what we can actually have different design on a single file. You can have different designs on a single file. Are you getting it? And another function is you can actually, let's assume you are replicating a particular design. You can bring one of the design to a particular artboard, then you'll be having your design on the second artboard. Is somebody there?
Yes, yes,
All
yes.
right, good. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Let me open one of the designs I did that have different artboard. So I want us to pay attention to it before the work we get complex in that sense.
Nine
Um,
thirty.
hold on a bit. Okay, let me open this and show you. This might actually take a little time for it to open because there are different work on that particular file. So you can see this now. We have different designs on this single file. You can see this. So these are what we call artboard. These are what we call these are artboard. You get it? These are artboard. You can actually run different designs on a particular file. These are artboard. You can see there are different ones there. Can we see my screen?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
So that one can actually be achieved using activating our artboard. But in this second one, the artboard is not there. The artboard is not there. But let's now assume that you open your file. You've opened your file before you remember to activate the artboard. You've opened it already before you remember to activate your artboard. There is this other way of converting it to artboard, which I'm going to do now. Now, this particular part of our Photoshop is what we call toolbar. This left side, or this particular thing you are seeing there, then you have different icons. See, these are what we call our toolbar, and this part of this Photoshop, this top part is what we call taskbar. Okay, so there are different functions uh, under each part of the taskbar, and under each toolbar, whenever you see this arrow at the base of any tool, it means there is an extension there. We have more tool under that particular one, which means there is sub tool. You can see like this one. You can see, can we all see this arrow at the base of that tool? One arrow here, the arrow at that base, this arrow, can we see it? Hello, are you there?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
but
Yeah,
which arrow are you saying?
yeah. There is a particular arrow at the base of this move tool. Can you see one small arrow here? You can try to zoom your screen, you will see it at the base of this stuff. You see one arrow there. There's arrow here, there's arrow here. Almost all the tools there are having arrow, only few are not having arrow there. Can somebody see the arrow now?
Yes.
You can see it now, this small arrow at the base
Yes.
of this tool. Now But under
Yes.
this particular one, you can see that there's no arrow here. This one, where I have my mouse, this one is not
Yeah.
having arrow, but this one is having arrow, this
Yes,
one is
yes,
having
the
arrow.
other
Yeah.
have it.
So yeah, when you right click on any of them, it is going to show you functions, the other tools under that tool. It means there are more than one under the tool. The same thing with this one. It's the same thing with this one. You can see that we have different tools under them. So which means there are tools under that particular one. So under this move tool is where we have our artboard tool. Under this move tool is where we have our what? Our artboard tool. The artboard I was explaining here. When I opened this one, the artboard was actually activated before I opened the file. But in this second one, I didn't activate the artboard. So I now want to convert this to what? To artboard. So what you now have to do is to what? Is to pick your artboard tool under the move tool. So as soon as you now pick the artboard tool, you move your mouse to cover the whole of the workspace. You now leave it. It's going to convert it to artboard automatically. It is going to convert it to artboard automatically. Do we all get that?
Come again, boss. Come again.
Okay, let me undo what I just did. What I was saying is, I was explaining to us that almost all the tools in the toolbar are having subtool. So under everything, you'll be having different tools under them. So we now have what we call artboard tool. Artboard tool, ARTBOARD. Artboard tool under this move tool. So if you want to convert your normal layer or your normal workspace to artboard, you have to pick that artboard tool. You mark it over that workspace. Until it gets to the other angle. So as soon as these two lines is activated, this horizontal and vertical lines is activated, it means you've been able to cover the whole of the workspace. You now leave your mouse, it's going to convert it to artboard automatically, and that's why you see this artboard one here. It means it has converted your normal layer to artboard. Do we all get that? Is somebody there?
Yes, yes,
All
yes,
right, so
yes,
that
yes.
is that is how you convert it to artboard. So far I've actually explained what you are going to see whenever you want to start a new project, how you're going to convert your dimension if the dimension you are working with is not part of the dimension in Photoshop. Then you reduce it at the same rate. Then I also explained how to convert your normal layer to artboard. You get. So I won't want to congest the class so that it can be well understood by everyone, and for the sake of those that were not around. So I actually did a record. I don't know if it's going to work, or though I haven't confirmed it. So if it should work, I'm going to share the record with everyone so that we can actually check it and practice it. So this is what will now happen. Everything we've done now, I'm going to give you as an assignment. So what you would have to do for me now is what? As your assignment, you can start noting it down. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so your assignment is, the first thing is, you download your Photoshop and install it on your system. So after installing it, you screenshot. You get it, screenshot it. That's the first assignment. So the second assignment is you launch the Photoshop until it's bring out this particular part. This part, you get it, where you're going to choose a new file. You screenshot it also. Then you create a new file with activating your what? Your artboard. Activating your artboard. When you activate it, you open it. When you activate it like this, you open it. It's going to show something like, hold on. So it's going to display something like this. You get it? So which this artboard one is going to show there. Then you screenshot it. Then you open another one that your artboard is not activated. Are you following? Are you following?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
we are.
You now open another one that the artboard is not activated. You now convert that layer to artboard using this artboard tool, which I explained earlier. This artboard tool that I explained earlier. So you now make a screenshot. So the screenshot is going to be, I think, 4 or 5. So that's going to be your assignment. And Those of you on group, try to reach out to others that they should be available for class and they should do their assignment. You can just tell them they should do their assignment and get ready for class by 8:30 tomorrow, because tomorrow's class is going to be long. Tama that it means it's gone forever because I might not record tomorrow. I getting it because we are starting the design already. So if you miss it now, that's all. Though you can learn it from somewhere else later. So that is going to be the end of the class for tonight. You get. So just ensure you do your assignment. So tomorrow we are going to meet again. Good evening and good night.
Good evening.
Thank you.